Hi everyone, welcome back to the Grow Paradise Garden and Nursery, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about an evergreen shrub that I think is underrated, and I've actually got a few different versions of it available in the garden at the moment, so I can talk you through some of the more exciting varieties that we can add to create an exotic look in our gardens throughout summer, throughout spring and through winter, keeping the gardens looking lush all year round. So this enormous glossy green leaf belongs to Fatsia japonica variegata, which is a very nicely variegated form. It has the majority of the leaf in green, and the margins have this creamy variegation, and it's pretty stable. All of the leaves that have emerged have had a good amount of variegation on them. I really like this form, which I got as a rescue plant from a garden centre a few years ago. I like this one because it grows so strongly, because the majority of the leaf is green, and obviously green is where the chlorophyll is in the leaf, and that's where plants generate food through the process of photosynthesis. So when you get plants that have different coloured leaves, if there's a lot of green on the leaf, it can still grow very, very healthily. Now this one, you can see the size it is now. It had 2 or 3 leaves on it when I got it at a garden centre. We grew it in a pot first and nursed it on, and then it's just grown enormous now, and it's just peeping up and over our boundary fence. Now it's tucked underneath the canopy of the golden Indian bean tree and this Sambucus nigra blue sheen. And this is the perfect spot really for Fatsia, and that goes for most Fatsia because they absolutely thrive in partial shade. You can grow them in full shade, but they won't grow quite as happy. A bit of sunlight on the leaves out of the hottest part of the day will keep them really, really healthy, and you'll get lots of strong growth. Now, second behind this is another variegated form that is becoming more readily available, and it's great. It's a great plant for brightening up those shady spots, and I've got one down here. This is Fatsia japonica spider's web, and it is a really brightly variegated form. Now this, although it has almost pure white leaves when they emerge, you can see there is so much white on them. As the leaves mature, they go through an aging process where they start almost pure white. You then get this white webbing, so it's living up to its name of Fatsia spider's web. And then each leaf gradually matures to a darker green, and it just leaves this faint webbing through the leaf with this white webbed leaf margin, which means that the older leaves are photosynthesizing, there's chlorophyll in them, but you get the benefit of these gorgeous white new leaves. I love this one. You can see it's in this shady spot down here now, and these white leaves are just popping. We used to have an enormous one just back in this narrow border here, but with some of the changes in the Grow Paradise garden, it had to go because it was growing so well and it was using up a lot of space. Now, most of these Fatsias will grow to about 1.5 to 2 meters tall. I'm going to say this one's probably heading on for the 1.5, maybe 1.75 meters at the moment. And they will grow in pots. They do grow in pots very, very well. You can see obviously the nursery plants are in pots at the moment, ready for us to post them all over the place. But they do grow much better in the ground, because once plants have got themselves into the ground, they get all the benefits of that soil life, all of the fungal life to encourage healthier growth. Now, the regular Fatsia is this one. This is a small seed-grown plant of Fatsia japonica, and this is the plant that many of these have originated from. And the way you get these colourful cultivars is growers around the world will have spotted an oddball growing that had a slightly different coloured leaf or slight variegation, and they propagate from that plant, either using traditional methods or, more likely these days, using a process called tissue culture, where they're sent off to a lab and quickly propagated so that you can grow thousands of plants from one kind of unusual specimen. And that's how you can produce plants like this that carry through that characteristic of one oddball plant that popped up at some point in time, and someone with a keen eye spotted and knew had potential to be cultivated. Now, not all kind of variegations like this and leaf markings and shapes are stable. So that's to say that in time they can push out a branch or a leaf that's pure green, And because it's pure green, as we said, that's going to be a much stronger leaf. And the energy from the plant will all go into that green branch or shoot. And then as a gardener, we have to keep a sharp eye on making sure we prune out that green growth, because then it will channel all the energy back into this feature growth with the variegation that we want more of. Now down here, we've got a beautiful new Fatsia japonica. This is a cultivar that used to be called Murukumo Nishiki, but it's currently being marketed as Fatsia japonica Camouflage because it's got this amazing tri-coloured variegation from deep green, a mid-green, and then this lime green in the centre of the leaf. This has to be one of the most beautiful Fatsias that we can grow. It's such a colourful leaf, and each leaf will get as big as the leaves on this Fatsia variegata. It's evergreen, so we get to enjoy this glossy, colourful foliage all year round. Now, this isn't one I've had the opportunity to grow in the Grow Paradise garden before. So I'm going to plant out one of these and hopefully get it as big as this Fatsia here, because they really are good structural plants to form the backbone of any garden. But if you're into trying to create that tropical jungle look in a part of the world that has colder winters, you can't beat Fatsia japonica for creating that appearance. And then when you can use cultivars like this that have such gorgeous coloration on the leaves, then you can really add some winter interest and really good summer structure. And if you plant these, in and around these, you can plant your herbaceous plants like cannas that come up in the summer, become the star of the show, but then die back. And the Fatsias hold the fort through those colder winter months. Murukumo Nishiki is the formal name for this. As I say, it's exactly the same plant being marketed as Fatsia japonica Camouflage. Just look how gorgeous those leaves are. You can just about pick up that golden variegation from underneath. And in time, if these do reach 1.5 to 2 meters in height, you could be looking up through the leaves, like we are here on this Fatsia variegata, and enjoying that variegation from a spot where you're sat having a nice cold drink underneath the dappled shade that the Fatsia is now casting. Now, I mentioned that I've got a few different Fatsia forms from Japan, but I've also got Fatsia polycarpa and that cultivar called Green Fingers. Now, this is featured on the Grow Paradise channel so many times over the years because it is just such a great plant. Now, this is from the mountainous regions of Taiwan, where in the wild it's now becoming quite a rare plant. And again, this is a cultivated form of Fatsia polycarpa, and it's been selected for its deep lobes here, giving it a hand-like green-fingered appearance, hence the name Polycarpa Green Fingers. And this will have gone through exactly the same processes. A keen grower somewhere will have seen that this one was particularly different and either propagated it using traditional methods, cuttings, possibly seeds if it comes true from seed, or most likely these days, micro-propagation, where you can produce thousands of plants to share these plants with people all around the world very, very quickly. If I just bring these together, look at that selection of foliage that you can get from one plant and all of the different forms through variegation, through different leaf shapes, different colours. They're so often overlooked. People think because it's an easy plant to grow that I'm not going to bother with that. I've got to try the difficult, hard to source, hard to grow plants. But really for me, over the years, I've found that growing plants like this over time helps tie the garden together, while I might be experimenting with some of the more difficult to grow plants. Now, the other good thing with Fatsia is they are in the Aralia family. So that's related to ivy. And they all produce ivy-like flowers in late winter or early spring that are loved by pollinators. So they are really good for bringing pollinators into your garden. And once the flowers are pollinated, they're followed by dark berries that the birds love. So you'll get some of the local bird wildlife in your gardens too. They're just fantastic plants. Definitely worth a try. We've currently got polycarpa, spider's web, and a few of these brand new to us, Fatsia Camouflage, available online, and we can ship them all over the UK. We've currently sold out of Fatsia variegata at the moment, but we may get more in come winter. As I say, they are great plants for adding winter structure. Hopefully there's some plants in that video that you've not seen before, or perhaps there's some that you're already growing and I'd love to know about it. Don't forget, we've got a global growers forum at growparadise.social. It's completely free to sign up and you can share pictures of your garden there, and we're all helping each other grow this style of garden. If you've enjoyed the video, hit subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel. And of course, if you're in the UK, feel free to check out our plant and seed shop. We ship nationwide, that's plants and seeds, at our website at growparadise.co.uk. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.